It's Friday. It's time to start kicking back a little bit. And my favorite way to do that is to light up a PG cigar. What the heck are you talking about, Babin? Paul Garmirian, well, he's a personal friend of mine right now. But when I first discovered his cigars, a little over 10 years ago, I was just amazed. They're uniformly smooth. They're very well constructed. They just plain taste good. This is a man, Paul Garmirian, Dr. Paul Garmirian. He's Lebanese born. He was raised in London. He moved to the United States. He actually was extracted from Lebanon on a U.S. Navy ship many years ago. Came here. He was teaching history at Catholic University, and I guess got a little bored. So he decided to start a cigar company. Now he has one of the premium cigar brands in the world. And Paul, regretfully, could not join us today. He was going to talk about his new cigar, the 20th anniversary cigar. Well, I really wanted to have some good, informed discussion about cigars. Paul can't join us because his mother is quite ill. Joining me is a very dear friend of his, a gentleman who is the proprietor of the best cigar store in Washington, D.C. David Berkebile, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jed. It's nice to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on. I really appreciate you taking the time. Now, I know you have an enormous selection of really good cigars at Georgetown Tobacco, but let's, if we can, talk a little bit about just generally and the PG brand in specific. To me, and you know a lot more about it than I do, you have to blend the cigar with a variety of different kinds of tobaccos. And then you have to age it. It seems to me that some of the premium cigars you have, and I think probably Ashton and a number of others also, they age their cigars. But what's the taste difference between an aged cigar, and how long do you have to get it to the point where it's really enjoyable?
It's a pretty technical question, but it depends on the leaf and how long that particular manufacturer wants to put it aside. But aging would be 3 to 5 years, ideally, if you can do that. If they don't have the time or the money, some of the lower-end brands, they'll push them out in 6 months or so. But 3 to 5 years is about the best aging process for that.
So it's kind of like a wine. I mean, wine, I guess you blend grapes and so forth, and Paul has told me how he blends different tobaccos to produce taste. I mean, I guess taste, and correct me if I'm wrong, taste is about 80% smell and 20% chemical reactions on your tongue. Is that about right?
Yeah, that sounds all right. Yeah.
And to me, a good cigar is going to satisfy you in both ways. Now, what do you see as the trend amongst American cigar smokers? I mean, you sell, I'm sure, to people all over the country. Now, are people buying stronger cigars, milder cigars? Are the aged cigars doing better? I mean, why? What is going on and why?
Well, I think the market today has probably the best crop of cigars in years, and there's a lot of boutique manufacturers are out there that are making excellent cigars. Paul has had a boutique brand for many years, since 1990, and he's developed different blends along the way. In fact, coming out with the 20th anniversary blend, a very complex blend that's coming out in one shape only in about a few weeks.
And tell me about that. Paul started to tell me about that yesterday. He's going to call it the Symphony cigar?
Symphony. It has a wrapper of two hybrid Cuban seeds grown in Ecuador, and the filler and binder is Habana and Dominican, and it's in one size only. I don't know the price of it yet, but I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a great cigar, very complex.
Yeah, Paul has told me that he blends cigars, and I guess it's called the Symphony because he kind of looks at it as composing music. And you put high notes in with different kinds of tobacco, and low notes and strong notes, loud notes and soft notes. I mean, he really goes on about that quite a bit. Have you talked to them about that?
Well, Paul, I talk cigars all the time.
I know.
Yes, yeah, we do.
Well, what are the other cigars that you think? I mean, we'll set Paul's aside for just 1 second. What are the others that are really the top cigars to your palate? I'll put you on the spot here.
Well, I'm trying new cigars all the time, but Ashton has come out with a new blend. Davidoff has a number of blends. I like the Millennium series, for instance. There are new ones like My Father, Tatuaje, Cubao, 601. There are a number of new brands that are out there, just wonderful. blends.
Well, you said a moment ago that there's just a great crop out now, that, you know, there may be more good cigars out there than ever before. Why is that? I mean, are people spending more money on it? Are people developing more tobaccos for it? I mean, where are we with this?
Well, I think the experts have stayed in the business, and the neophytes and the amateurs and the people who came in to make money have left, and you have some very serious, devoted cigar manufacturers who have a passion for it.
Now, you were at the beginning, and Paul's told me this story, that, you know, he basically came to you when he was first starting, and, you know, you really helped him build the brand.
Yeah, we started, the first PG cigars went out on display with his, he took a magic marker and just wrote his name on the box. No
Well,
bands
now,
in my store.
All right, now why did you do that? I mean, you've got a very established business, and what did you see in the beginning of Paul Garmirian that really made you compelled to do that?
Well, the cigar eventually was developed down with the Davidoff factory. But Paul and I go back to the mid-'60s when I first started my business. And he went to Catholic University.
Right.
And we were both kids, and so I've known Paul for 45 years almost. So
that's wonderful.
That's how. So then when he wanted to, he was always a connoisseur, and when he wanted to develop a blend, I helped him, and I helped him write his book too, as a matter of fact.
David Berkebile, the owner of Georgetown Tobacco. Thanks so much for joining us today. Jed Babin for Fred Thompson.